6 ways you're going bankrupt and not noticing it. What's up, y'all? It's Finance Boss again. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Welcome, moneymakers. What if you're working tirelessly, but you're still losing money? You love to work for money, but you love spending more. Today, we're gonna talk about the 6 ways you're going bankrupt and you're not noticing it, and also how to stop the bleeding. Number 1. Paying sneaky bank fees. Something that many people don't realize is that with any given bank that you might be using, you are often paying money just for the privilege of storing your money with that bank. Everything from having too low of a balance to using checks to overdrafting to transferring money can ping you with fees. And doing something like overdrafting multiple times in a day, which is extremely easy to do without even realizing it, can lead you to rack up hundreds of dollars in fees. The point is, you need to be aware of every dollar that you're spending and being charged when it comes to your bank. Be on the lookout for fees and remember that you can always negotiate them. And even if you don't get a given fee waived, like when you may be overdrafted before you realize your account balance was low, it's always good to ask. There are also modern digital banks that get rid of all the fees that make having a checking account in particular so annoying. No matter what banking decision you make, though remember that your goal should always be to not pay money just to store money. There's almost always a better way to do banking. Number 2 is not thinking in terms of opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is an economic term, and it basically means a benefit that a person could have received but gave up to take another course of action. Stated differently, an opportunity cost represents an alternative given up when a decision is made. Often, the decision that looks cheap on its surface can mean giving up something very valuable that you could have had. For instance, if you save money by not investing in a particular skill like paying for education, software, online course, etc., you may be effectively losing money by foregoing the employment opportunities that could have opened up with that new skill. Another example is staying in a lower paying job when it's become clear that you're not going to get a promotion that leads you to get what you're worth on the market. It can be the more comfortable and low-risk choice, but you're foregoing the opportunity to make more money and learn something new at a new job. You should always be thinking in terms of your future self, but you should also be thinking in terms of opportunities that may not seem immediately available to you in the present moment. Number 3 is being afraid of investing. Basically, there is a thing called an investment horizon, and that's essentially the amount of time that your money has to grow and accrue all of that sweet compound interest in the meantime. Young people often tend to feel that they've exempt from investing because A, they might not have enough money that they feel like they can get started, and B, they always feel like they'll just get to it later. But every day that you wait to start investing, even just a few dollars at a time, is costing you enormously in how much time that money has to grow. Going back to opportunity cost, we tend to think of investment as always inherently super risky, and that keeping our money just sitting in a savings account is by default the safe choice. But it's very much not the safe option when it comes to that money's potential value. Keeping your non-emergency fund savings in a basic savings account is essentially the only surefire way to make sure that it will never really grow or work for you over time. You can get started with literally just $1, so no excuses. Number 4 is not using the right credit card for your life. Something a lot of people don't understand is that using the right credit card is about a lot more than just building your credit and having access to funds earlier in the month. Everything from points to miles to cashback makes the right credit card super useful for things that you would otherwise be paying for totally out of pocket. If you fly a lot, you'll get benefits especially when you use the best cards because some of them are really limiting when it comes to things like blackout dates. If you learn to use them properly, they can save you thousands of dollars on airline tickets. But even if you're not someone who flies a lot, there are tons of great options out there for reward cards for whatever you might actually have a use for. Just make sure to read the fine print before you sign. And remember, if you don't yet qualify for a really high value rewards card, you can always get a more basic card and work your way up to it. It actually doesn't take as long as you would think. Wherever you currently are with your credit, Remember that the healthiest way to see credit cards is as a convenient way to live the life you already want to live in a more cost-efficient and effective way. It's not just about building your credit score, it's also about using them to your advantage to save money. Number 5 is letting things run continuously. Everything from lighting to heating and AC to running the water while you're brushing your teeth or taking super long showers are costing you money for no reason. There's a reason that most of our dads spend about half of their waking hours walking around the house, turning down thermostats and turning off lights and mumbling about how when you can pay the bills, you can keep the house as hot as you want. Well, guess what? You literally do pay the bills now, and it's time to imitate your dad in this respect. We all know that we should be creating a low consumption and energy efficient household, but we'd probably be surprised at how much not doing that can cost us in raw dollar amounts. It's literally for many people in the hundreds of dollars a year. An easy way to get over these bad habits and start approaching your home life in a more measured way is to start setting month-long challenges for yourself. For 1 month, make a conscious effort to only use exactly what you need. That means no lights on in rooms that you're not in, not running more water than you need when doing things like brushing your teeth, and it means keeping your heating and AC both at a pretty mild temperature and learning to put on some damn socks. Sorry, that's my dad talking again. And if you're in a warmer month or climate, that means learning to use as little AC as possible. I lived in a country where AC is not really a thing for several years, and it taught me that your brain adjusts pretty quickly to the idea of, I'm just going to be kind of hot when it's hot outside, and that's just what life is like. And do this month-long energy challenge with a buddy so that you guys can hold each other accountable and see how low you can get your bills down. A fun study showed that when neighbors had their energy consumption listed publicly, they actually consumed way less. When it comes to not wasting on basic utilities, shame actually seems to be the most effective thing. Number 6 is not asking for a raise. Recently, on the 3-minute guide, someone broke down how to ask for more money at any job. And while I can't do as thorough as a job as she can with the topic because she's always been weirdly good at negotiating and she has a lot more useful tips than I do, I can say that it's an incredibly important concept to reiterate. Every time you don't negotiate, don't ask for a raise or don't raise your rates on any contracted work. You are actively cheating yourself out of money. Negotiating isn't just acceptable. It's what's expected out of any professional in a work environment. It actually looks weirder if you don't negotiate, and it's not just the low opening salary or rate that hurts you when you don't push back. It can be very damaging to get in a pattern of lowballing yourself because it also affects what you can ask for in your next position, as well as the starting point from which you are given raises for as long as you're at the employer. Remember that every dollar that you waste or miss out on is a dollar that you could be doing something so valuable with, like investing in your future. So, did you learn something new today? Those things may look easy, but it's really not. I'm guilty of those things too, and I've learned. That's why I have the guts to share these things with you. So as always, guys, this is Finance Boss. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Bye! See you on the next one.